27th May in the case of 006, Paul Michaud, case 080, José Saint-Ange, and case 379, VW3.
Thank you. Can you please call the next witness?
Mr. Philippe Michaud.
Thank you, Mr. Michaud, for appearing before the Commission today. We called you in relation to a complaint which I think you're a party to, because you're one of the heirs, Michaud. And the reason why we requested you to appear is when we were going through the files, we saw that you were actually in Seychelles at the time when the difficulties arose with respect to Roland not wanting to come back, and that you were representing your mother. So we thought, in terms of the duress that's been alleged and the situation that led your mother to, well, she tried to, there's an agreement which couldn't go through, signing over property that she didn't have a legal right to do, and then an acquisition order to take that property. We just thought you could probably give us a little bit more evidence about those circumstances, and in particular the duress. The reason we are concerned about that is because on the files there was a letter from your mother agreeing, and so we want to understand the context in which that letter of agreement was made. So the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much. At the time, I was in Seychelles, and I was staying at home with my mother. In many ways, I advised her, but obviously she took the final decision because she was a very strong lady and had a mind of her own. She was under a lot of stress because there was a threat, and a very strong threat, that government would get the British government to get my brother back to Seychelles. And that was at a time when he was in his final stages of his exams. And that really got her very worried. She had initially made an offer to pay the compensation by monthly installments, and this had been verbally agreed, and then it was refused, and government proceeded with the land acquisition. I saw some of the letters which my brother gave me, and obviously it's obvious that government was not so much interested in the financial compensation, but was really interested in getting that land for the party. So for her, it was absolutely crucial that the studies, especially the final exams of my brother, be not jeopardized by stalling, because in any case, government could do what they would have done,
And your brother, I mean, he'd studied by that time, was it 7 years or 7 or?
Well, he did medical studies in the UK are quite long, and there are quite a few exams. Whilst I think he had succeeded in the first exams, it was the final bit that was quite crucial, and it would have been quite a stress or quite difficult just to go back, and in any case, you just couldn't focus on two things,
So your evidence is there was substantial duress placed on your mother. Your mother was aware that she didn't actually have the legal capacity on her own to give that property to the government because it really belonged to all of you?
Indeed, she was a bit confused, and but I think the most important, let's say, consideration was that my brother Roland could continue and finalize his studies. So that other consideration of the fact that it belonged also to the heirs was not, the most, let's say, important one.
But I mean, it was for that reason it looks like an acquisition was done, right? Because originally there wasn't a document drawn up, an agreement to sell the property. And then that didn't go through, and the land was acquired. And I think you had told the government authorities, I saw a note on the file, that you weren't happy that your property would be used, your part of the property would be used to pay for Roland's education.
Yes, I saw that file note, and obviously it was not fair. And in any case, I think, as I mentioned, I think the primary purpose was to have the land, because my mother had other sources of income. So even though the initial offer was verbally agreed and then afterwards brushed aside, there could have been a counter offer, as happened in many other cases. Well, again, from the letters in the files that I've seen.
Any questions from the front bench? No. We were just filling a gap with you, just in the determination, because you were there, and we thought we have to hear
Yes.
you to fill in a gap. We have no further questions, unless you have a question, Miss. No? Yeah.
After that, did your mother or the heirs make any moves to change this decision?
No, we didn't, because obviously it was a one-party state, and then after the one-party state, it was still the same government and the same people. So basically, she was not. She believed that it was a pointless exercise.
What is your position today concerning?
Yeah, well, basically, I think it was a very unfair decision. That was the house where we grew up, and my mother liked it very much because all her friends were there. And even though we moved elsewhere, it was not the same thing. She was, when she married, she was there. All the kids were born there. And I think it did traumatize her, and certainly did upset her.
One last call. Anyone got anything else to add? No? No. So, you're done? Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Michaud. You're very clear. Your evidence is very clear for us. We're grateful to you for coming. I realise I gave you quite short notice. So, so thank you very much for coming on short notice as well. We have no more questions for you unless you have anything you'd like to add.
No, thank you very much for hearing me. It was short notice, but I thought, well, let's be done with it,
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We will adjourn now, and we will be back at 1 p.m. Thank you.
All rise.